Hello, I'm Julian Northbrook from doingenglish.com. Stood out here watching the ferry. This is the ferry that takes people from the town where I'm currently stood to the one on t'other side, which you can probably just about see. Good question came up in this morning's members group coaching call. It was from one of my English teacher clients, and she asked, how can I make my lessons more relevant to my students so they can actually see that English is something they can use in their lives? This is an important topic. You may or may not know this, but a big part of my PhD research was looking at the textbooks used in the Japanese junior high school context. All Japanese students, with very, very rare exceptions, have to have their English lessons based on these textbooks, meaning they all use them, they all learn from them. But the truth is, a lot of the topics and a lot of the stuff covered in these textbooks is truly bizarre and really is not the kind of situation where anybody would really be able to actually imagine themselves using it. This obviously is a big problem because not only does it kill motivation when you can't see what you are studying, what you are learning, what you are doing is actually going to be relevant in your life, but it also ruins the learning opportunity because, again, if you can't imagine yourself actually using what you're learning, then why would you remember it? Now, if you're an English teacher working with, say, adults, or you're a private English teacher, then, this is a pretty simple thing. You just don't use this kind of materials. But if you are a school teacher, like once upon a time, for many years I was, you don't have a choice. They are government mandated and all schools have to use them. So what we have to do is we have to find ways to make the content, no matter how bizarre, how weird it might be, relevant to the students. Because again, you have to work within the framework that is laid out and given to you. One very simple way of doing this, of course, is to create your own or find your own supplementary materials that teach really the same points as the textbooks, but in different contexts, in different situations, in different dialogues that are going to be more relevant. Ask your students, find out what are they interested in, what do they want to talk about, what is relevant to them and their lives, and base these supplementary materials on those. The other approach is to create scenarios and situations based on the textbooks themselves that are, again, relevant and interesting to the students. For example, all of these textbooks have an awful dialogue along the lines of, where is the station? Go straight. Take the second left. You'll see it on the right. Which is all very, very abstract. And again, when something is abstract and you can't actually imagine yourself using it, it's basically useless to the student. However, say you've got a lot of boys in the class that like football, soccer, baseball, whatever sport it is that they're into. You can tell a story. Imagine you are in the high school baseball team. Your team is on a winning streak and you're going to play a match in a different town that you're unfamiliar with. You get lost. You can't find the stadium, the place where you're supposed to be playing. But then you see walking down the street towards you a beautiful foreign girl. This is your chance, you realize, to kill two birds with one stone. Find directions to the place where you're going and chat up this pretty girl. Now, what are you going to say to her? This is a very, very simple example, but what we're doing here is we are creating a story, a visualization of a situation that is 1, interesting, 2, relevant, 3, fun to the student, and then helping them to see how the language they are being taught can be tied up into that situation. Right away, you're going to see that having good relationships with your students is essential. You need to know what they're interested in, what they want to talk about, what is fun for them, what they already talk about. Of course, you've got to be a little bit careful with this because there are limits to the things that we can say and the things we can talk about in class. And hey, if you work with teenage boys, the chances are, what are they going to be interested in? Well, it's porn and sex, basically, and you can't really talk about that in class, although you can certainly hint at it and play with that idea. And it's something that I did a lot in my classes. Obviously, I didn't talk about porn and sex, but, most teenagers are starting to become aware of boys, of girls, and, by tying that up into the conversation, into the situation, it does become more fun and more relevant for them. Right, I think that is enough for this video. If you are a non-native English teacher, whether you teach in school, in a commercial school teaching adults, whether you are a freelance teacher, and you want to become better at what you do, I've got a new project you may be interested in. It's called the Extraordinary English Teachers Project. This was, until very early this year, an intensive one-on-one coaching program that I ran with a very, very small number of people. For various reasons, I discontinued that and I stopped doing it. And I've decided to re-release the project, relaunch it in a different format. It's going to be a monthly newsletter-based training combined with a group discussion to talk about and help you implement the ideas that I teach. That is going to be coming officially in the next month or two. I am writing the first issue of the newsletter as we speak. Head over to doingenglish.com/EET. Add yourself to the notification list, and when that first issue is ready, you will be getting it on the house. Right guys, this is me, Julian Northbrook, signing out from this video. It's getting a tad windy out here, so I am off in to have my lunch. Look, my hair's got all screwed up. See you in the next video, guys. Bye-bye.